We're officially in the last month of 2024. I still can't decide if this year was better than last year in terms of sneakers. My gut instinct is 2023 was more outstanding, but I still really have to digest all the sneakers that came out in 2024 to make a more informed and thoughtful decision. But we still have 1 month left to go, and even though it's not like the most stacked month, I will say there are some gems. So I'm gonna go through some of the shoes that I really want for the final month of the year. Now, disclaimer, sneaker release dates just super fluid, changes all the time. Some shoes that are supposed to drop are gonna get pushed back. Some shoes that you don't even know about are gonna get pushed up and drop in December. So if I miss any shoes on this list, blame the companies for being so flaky and not me. Here we go. Now first, it is the Jordan 12 Blueberry that is dropping on December 18th for $210. We have the OG Jordan 12 Cherry, of course, a beloved colorway. And this, I guess, is kind of like a sibling to the Cherry. Might as well bring like raspberry and all the other berries to this mix. But this Blueberry colorway is a clean way to start this list. A very, very simple shoe. The Jordan 12, of course, inspired by Japan, the land of the rising sun. You see that very unique stitching on the upper that is supposed to resemble the rays of a sun. And it's also, interesting enough, inspired by women's footwear, so high heels. And this is just a very simple sneaker. Has a white leather upper with blue mudguard. And of course, that part is faux lizard skin. That is another very distinct feature of the Jordan 12. Has the 2-3 running down the tongue, as well as that booty tab. Now, the Jordan 12 Phantom is also dropping in December, on December 2nd, I believe. That is a woman's exclusive, and it's almost impossible to not compare that shoe to the OVO 12s. But even though it's kind of like a poor man's version of the OVOs, I think that colorway is actually pretty nice. And between these two, I had to pick one, just one, to include on this list. It was very close. I think the Phantom is a very clean and kind of elegant looking colorway, but I think at the end, I just prefer this more kind of traditional and classic Jordan 12 color blocking on the Blueberries. But I will say, it is not the only Jordan 12 on this list. Next, it is the Arma Manea Converse Weapon Low While You Were Sleeping that is dropping on December 4th for $130. Now, the While You Were Sleeping collection is the celebration of Arma Manea's 10th year in business, and this Converse Weapon Low is actually the last shoe of this capsule. So I reviewed the Jordan 3, the Jordan 4, the Jordan 39s as well. Didn't get my hands on the Air Max 95. I didn't get the Air Force 1 Arma Manea. That's actually a very nice shoe, and I love Air Force 1s, so I might go back and actually get that shoe, might review it. But this Converse Weapon Low, it is nice. I'm not like a huge Converse guy, but the Converse weapons are just a classic and timeless, old school silhouette that is very, very easy to wear. Now, this shoe, you see a leather upper with what looks like a suede mudguard and heel, and you also get the very distinct Arma Manea quilted lining. You saw that on the 3s as well as the 4s, and a custom box as well as insoles that actually has the Arma Manea logo stitched. Arma Manea logo debossed on the ankle as well as the booty, and the outsole looks to have a reference to the theme of the shoe as well. And the tag on the inside of the tongue also has a reference to While You Were Sleeping. Now, true to Arma Manea fashion, the storytelling behind each of the releases is just insane. The attention to details, the thought process behind it, it is outstanding. I think the Jordan 4 out of the whole collection is still my favorite. Jordan 3 is not far behind, but this Converse Weapon Low, yeah, it is right up there. Now, up next, it is the Kobe Bryant Nike Air Force 1 Black, and that is releasing on, still to be announced. Not sure what the release date is yet, but given that there's only 1 month left in 2024, and it's supposed to come out this year, I'm assuming it's December. Now, this is a very special Air Force 1. It is limited to 8,000 pairs, and as you can tell from the custom insole, each pair is actually numbered, and it is an all black Air Force 1. You can insert the black Air Force 1 jokes here, but I, as a black sneaker lover, I love the shoe. Air Force 1s, when I was growing up, it was beloved. I know not many people really go for Air Force 1s. They're not like Nike SB Dunks, where just the popularity is insane, especially with the youth. But in my generation, the Air Force 1s, at least where I lived, they were huge. And this all black Air Force 1 with the Mamba sheath logo, inspired by Kill Bill, by the way, that is supposed to represent a sword and a sheath. You can see that pattern debossed all over the shoe, and you see hints of Lakers yellow. This colorway is inspired by the Hollywood Knights jerseys of the Lakers, and those jerseys, I remember when they came out, they were insane. And this shoe also features a custom tongue tag with his signature, and inside the tongue, it is also custom, and you see mismatched branding on the booty. Now, this shoe, because of the limited release and the exclusivity of this Air Force 1, it's gonna be pretty much impossible to get unless you're willing to shell out like $500, $600, maybe even like $1,000. It's gonna be insane. Kobe shoes, even when they're not that limited, sell out pretty much instantly. this one, even though it's an Air Force One, a lot of people don't really care for them, but because it's Kobe, because it's limited, because it's exclusive, yeah, good luck. Next, it is the Nike SB Dunk Wizard of Oz that is dropping on December 5th for $135. Now, I want to preface by saying this colorway isn't like my absolute favorite. It's a little too out there, but I just think the uniqueness and the storytelling on the shoe, I'm more keen to get this shoe in hand to see what it's all about than like must have and keep this shoe. But this Wizard of Oz shoe, it is inspired by Dorothy's Poppy Field scene. So you see this textile floral upper with red accents inspired by Dorothy's ruby slippers. And you see a satin ankle lining, so it gives it a more elevated and luxurious look. Branded tongues, of course. One is just Nike SB, one has Wizard of Oz branding, and there's a quote on the heel, "There's no place like home." With a translucent outsole, I love translucent outsoles, and apparently the upper is tearaway. Now, I will admit, I've actually never seen or read Wizard of Oz, just have no idea what it's about. None. So I can't say I'm gonna get all the references, but I just want to get this shoe in hand, see what it's about. Maybe, because of my love for sneakers, it'll make me go and watch the original Wizard of Oz, or maybe not. Up next, it is the Travis Scott Jordan 1 Low OG Velvet Brown that is dropping on December 21st for $150. Jordan Brand duped us and making us think that they weren't gonna do more Jordan 1 Low Travis Scotts, but they keep coming. They don't look like they're gonna stop anytime soon, and with colorways this clean, it's hard to complain about it. I do wish they kind of stuck with more Jumpman Jacks and put more of their focus and attention there. Obviously, the recent Dark Mocha Jumpman Jack just released. Really like that shoe, but this shoe is actually kind of reminiscent to that colorway. So you see this full brown suede upper with Travis Scott's distinct reverse swoosh on the lateral side of the shoe. And this shoe is kind of like in between Jordan 1 Low OG and an 85 cut. So you see 8 eyelets instead of 7, so that's more like an 85 cut. But you don't see like the product code on the ankles that you usually see on an 85 cut. The sole pattern is also more like an OG and not an 85 cut. So it's like a hybrid, but regardless, this is a very nice colorway. I do wish someone, maybe it's already been done, a psychologist would like investigate and make a study on why as people get older, they tend to get more drawn into like brown sneakers. As I get older, I just like brown sneakers more and more. These mocha, kind of coffee, chocolate inspired colorways, I just really like them. I didn't used to growing up. I used to think they're like kind of dad shoes, I guess. But these brown colorways, oh, yeah, they're exciting me more and more as I age. Now, number 4, it is the Foamposite Copper that is dropping on December 4th for $230. I've actually already reviewed this shoe, so if you want to know my detailed thoughts, on-feet footage, go check out that review. But quick summary, this shoe originally dropped in 2010 as Dirty Copper. It came back in 2017 with like a more bluish tint to the outsole. But this version is more reminiscent to the 2010 original form of this colorway, and I think it's a very nice colorway. And this bronze type of copper color, it does have like a very metallic and reflective sheen to it, which I don't love when there's too much of. But the way they did this color, this shade, I don't think it's too bold, it's not too bright. And Nubuck eye stays just like the originals. They didn't change this to leather this time, so it just stays true to an OG form of a Foamposite. But again, if you want to know more about the shoe, watch this video first, finish this, and then go watch my review of the metallic copper. Next, it is the Kobe 9 Pro Tro Christmas that is dropping on December 12th for $240. This is the 10th year anniversary of the shoe. It originally dropped in 2014 on Christmas Day when the Lakers were playing the Bulls. Kobe Bryant was injured. He did not play in that game. They got absolutely destroyed, if my memory serves me correctly, for like 20, 30 points. That was the Lakers when they were like horrible. They had like Nick Young, Jeremy Lin, Jordan Hill, just like, oh. Now, if you didn't know, the Kobe 9 Pro Tro replaces the old Lunafoam with React foam, and it is a drop-in midsole. The swoosh, though, for this shoe doesn't seem to be like elevated like the Halos, so this does just seem to be like printed onto the shoe. And it doesn't have Zoom Air, there's no shank plate, but it does have carbon fiber like on the sides of the shoe, and that provides pretty good support as well as rigidity for the Kobe 9s. And of course, you get the 9 lines on the heel. That is a nod to Kobe 9, of course, but also it represents the stitches that Kobe Bryant got after he suffered an Achilles injury. In the Kobe 9 overall, this silhouette might be a bit too much for some people, especially the high version. The low version, I think more people like. I actually like high-top basketball shoes. It's just something I grew up in, so it seems more natural to me. Just from an aesthetic point of view, I really miss high-top basketball shoes. So I like the Kobe 9 highs, and this silhouette is actually inspired by when Kobe Bryant was watching Manny Pacquiao prepare for a fight. So boxing shoes, they always have like very high ankle support. And Kobe, true to his curious nature, was like, why can't we do that for basketball shoes? Remember, he was the one that was kind of responsible for really popularizing the low top basketball sneakers, but it's also him with the Kobe 9s that was like, let's try high tops again. I will say performance-wise, I did a whole review between the Kobe 9 highs versus lows. So if you're interested in wearing this on court, check out that review. Might be a little bit too much for some people, but my love for Kobe Bryant allows me to overlook a little bit of that over-the-topness of this colorway, if that's even a word. And at number 2, it is the Soulfly Jordan 12 that is dropping on December 6th for $225. Now Soulfly, if you didn't know, it is a sneaker boutique that is located in Miami, Florida. It is owned by Michael Jordan's brother-in-law, and I've really liked Soulfly's recent collaborations. Obviously, they had the really nice Jordan 10, they had the really nice Jordan 13, the Jordan 8s that came out last year, I have behind me. I really like that shoe. I think it's kind of underrated, but I love everything about the packaging and the execution of that shoe. And this shoe, even though I don't absolutely love Jordan 12s, I think this is clean. Now this collaboration is inspired by Cuban coffee, a staple in Cuban culture. And personally, I love coffee. I have like 3 cups a day at least. So you see this kind of off-white leather upper, and it does seem to use that cracked leather aesthetic. And of course you get this brownish coffee bean color on the mudguard, but on the outsole, it is very special. It is inspired by Cuban tiles that you often see in Cuban homes and cafes. And it comes with a coffee bag as well as a custom box. And I just love the storytelling that comes with the shoe. The shoe itself isn't like over-branded, overdone. Some collaborations can go like too wild. I think this is still a very clean and subtle looking shoe, but the overall packaging and how it's delivered to you, the unboxing experience, I cannot wait. But it is still not number 1 as much as I like the shoe, because the number 1, it is an OG Jordan 11. It is the Jordan 11 Legend Blue, or Columbia. And that is dropping on December 14th for $230. Michael Jordan originally wore it in the 1996 All-Star Game. This colorway matched that jersey. It's also a nod to his alma mater, University of North Carolina. Now I can't say this is like my favorite Jordan 11 OG colorway. I think the Jordan 11 Bread is definitely my favorite, but this is just clean. This one doesn't actually have the ballistic nylon mesh that you see on other Jordan 11s, but this one just has a leather upper. It is not reimagined. That's just how it came in 1996. And of course you get the stitch Jumpman on the heel that is facing the right direction this time, and the 23 printed on the booty, and the delicious blue translucent outsole. That is beautiful. You do get that very distinct and unique patent leather on the Jordan 11. Patent leather, when you wear it, it does crease pretty ugly, does crease pretty quickly. Out of the box, fresh, oh, it is so clean. I also have this shoe in hand, so if you want to know more detailed thoughts and a full in-depth review, keep an eye out. I will release that video very shortly. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Soul Inclined. Let me know what shoes of December 2024 you're really looking forward to. Some shoes I might have missed. Let me know which ones those are. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.